Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning. Well, I got all sorts of great stuff going on here. Okay, so there's the open, and they are actually buying the open. That's curious. We are significantly lower than we were yesterday. By about a quarter of a point. We have some big news coming up here. We got like personal spending and yeah, mostly personal spending. But anyways, let us grab the links here. I got like shit's getting really complicated over here with my setup. And I will show you guys here in a bit what we got going on. Let's grab the links first. There's that one. And there's that one. What do we got here? It's weird. Multiple people complaining about this guy. Somebody trying to scam my server. It's not my server. It's everybody's server, really. All right. Oh, let's pull up the restream chat. By the way, E-mini up a little bit too, so. Hooray. Where is my rain squawk? There we go. Okay. Oh. Pakistan Army Chief says the country will surely respond to any aggression in self-defense. Well, there was quite a bit of buying at 24.5, but they are keeping it down. That's, I think they may actually push above it though here and come back to this area here. There's no real reason for them to be breaking the lows here until we get the news. We getting tons of data coming up here. Okay, so I have changed a couple of things. So let me know if it's louder or softer. Oh wow, we already got a ton of people watching this morning, so thank you very much. Sweet deck up on that one. Yeah, just send me hit me up here. Let me know if the volume for my voice is loud enough, so, or if I need to bump up the gain on the mic a little bit. Been messing with my audio, trying to get that thing to work, and I did get it to work, but we got to make sure that all the volume levels are right. let's start that up. To here. Everything's cool. Everything's cool. That's good. Do you ever just skip trading and play games? No. So if it's like a holiday and you know, usually the market is actually still open on a holiday like that, but trading is really shitty. So if it's a holiday like that, then I usually try and program indicators and so forth. Never sleep in though. Never sleep in because then you just screw up your schedule. And I also never play games. I play plenty of games when I get home. I have not been going to the gym as much lately because my back has been having some problems and I'm trying to rest it a little bit. I've been playing a lot more games than usual, but I don't skip trading to play games. No, no. That would be a sorry, Squawk was talking there. Would that would be like a big can of worms because then I would just want to play games in the morning every day. Be no good. Why does no, I don't see it. Oh, that should yeah. So I just typed my own message into the Discord and even though Restream correctly has the settings, bot is off. Sometimes I'll be trading Forex, so I have done like 12 hours the day before and I skip an opening session. No. No. I mean, the thing is I only will trade like these 2 hours. So, like, to me, trading for 12 hours is a little, no way. I don't think that you could trade the way that I try to trade for 12 hours. Maybe every once in a while. That would just be way too stressful. So, anyways, so does the volume sound good, guys? And I'm turning the ducking, so let me know if like my voice is cutting in and out too early. Stream's not giving me the full. A Canadian GDP quarter over quarter 0.1. I'm gonna pull these things up here so that I can watch everything all at once. Okay. There's this one. So what we're looking for is do They update. How fast does it update? Got 10 seconds going on here. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here it comes through. His personal income was less than expected. Okay, so it came through here a little bit later, but it appeared to come in here earlier than it did yesterday. So here, price index in line with expectations. Personal income month over month was much less than expected. Consumption. Where's the December one? Don't see it. Oh, good morning, Uzi. See, Lucas is in bright and early. Hmm. Oh. Uh. So I'm hearing that the January was really bad, but the December was good. Yep, and in fact I can see that now. So for December, it was 1.0 above the expectation of spot 5%. And the personal income from January was negative spot 1 versus an expected spot 3. So that's kind of weird, especially since we were going down so hard in January. You know, if that release had been out there in January, I wonder how that would have changed markets. I wonder. Okay, well, I don't need this anymore. I'm going to pull this back over here. I'm going to make sure that I've got the sounds on. Okay. Morning, morning, morning. The restream chat works really well, except for that I'm not getting. Eh. Yes. So, anyways, I was gonna say, Lucas, you should check to see if you rolled over. You need to be on the June contract. You're on the June contract. There is tons of liquidity, but um the March contract, there was not so much liquidity yesterday, and now probably today, Friday, the last day to really trade it. Oh, actually, I take that back. It is March 1st, isn't it? So March 1st, you're not going to trade that because you could get called. So that's why the liquidity is different. Still not hearing if you guys think that my voice is too loud or not. I'm kind of tempted because it looks like I'm peaking out around -10. And I think that I want to change that. I want to change the filter here, my gain, and give myself another. There we go. How about that? Well, now I'm always at 10. So we got that. And then, no, I haven't got tons of stuff here, but I have a bunch of shitty music that is probably shitty, but is also free. I can play it. Here we go. Look at that. So tell me how that sounds, and if this works, and we don't get copyright strikes, because I'm worried that even though it's like royalty-free music and everything, and like it's provided by YouTube, there might still be some sort of crazy algorithm running around there giving unfair copyright strikes. So if we're good for today, then I think what we can do is we can make a channel in Discord where you can post links for me of royalty-free songs that you'd like included on the list, and then we can just run this all the time. Then it's kind of, you got a little something to go. Okay, Ryan says that it sounds fine on his end. I think that would be a little bit better, because sometimes it's hard to try and fill the quiet points. So plus it's kind of cool to have gotten it to work, because I had to do all sorts of crazy stuff to get it to, well, nothing too crazy, but in order to hear myself talk without a delay, I have to be able to be playing the music through a different sound card, but then monitor that output through OBS, and that's how I'm doing it. Bum, 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 bum. I also changed my streaming settings, but it looks like we're all good. I'm not dropping any frames or anything. I'm not outputting a full 8K, but that's okay. Probably doesn't need that much. The 3 p.m. Eastern Time flush in ZB every day. Anybody? Yes, I do know what the hell that is. That is the options pit close. Is it a flush? I mean, the behavior that you're going to get is going to be a little bit different every day, but you should always tend to see a ton of volume, and you'll probably tend to see whatever move you've had for the day kind of come back a little bit. Yes. Huge volume back and forth with no real price movement every day around 3 p.m. Yep, that's just the options pit traders closing, closing their positions. And on a day like yesterday, where, it's the last day of the month, so everybody's really closing their options. You're going to see tons and tons of volume. Like I said, the biggest bid that I ever saw was right before that close there on an options expiration day, and I saw 30K on the bid. Saw 30K, and then it was like the two guys just were like, okay, this is the price then, and they traded across from each other and closed it, and that was that. Well, they ticked down there, so they actually didn't go up quite as far as I thought maybe they would. And they came back really fast too, especially in the 5-year. Fast enough, I wonder if they're able to make a new low here or not. I'm not so confident trading it though. With all of that news that came out being kind of mixed, this is very difficult for me to for me to decipher if they're going to take it long or short, or what that means long term. Yesterday's was huge, 50K contracts. Wow. Well, I mean, you'll see tons of volume for sure. You're going to see tens of thousands of contracts go through, but the thing that I thought was interesting was that they were actually putting up big bid. It's like when you get towards the end, the big players show, okay, this is how many contracts I have that I need to get out of. And then they it moves around a little bit until they come to an agreement about where it's going to end at. December spending is interesting, negative 0.5%, somewhat in line with the retail sales number. That's interesting. That is interesting. It's loud enough on me. Oh, you are still kind of loud. Okay. So maybe I will turn it down a little bit. Change the filter to be back to 2. So there's a news story hitting the wires about Brexit negotiations. The EU negotiator just saying that there hasn't been any progress, that the Brits keep banging on the same issue, and that the Europeans aren't willing to budge on that issue. Oh, Krugman's going on about something. The most damaging policies undertaken in the name of free market economics aren't actually grounded in economic theory. In fact, fairly standard models say that fiscal austerity in the face of high unemployment is a terrible mistake. He's correct about that. That the optimal tax rate on incomes may be 70% or more. I dispute that particular study and analysis. I think he's dead wrong on that one. There is no optimal tax rate, because when you change the tax rate, the actual percentage of GDP that gets taxed stays the same. It's stayed the same for years. So I think that whole analysis is wrong. There are always some well-known economists willing to invest new analysis on the fly to justify whatever conservatives want to do. Oh, and you're not the same thing, Paul. Okay, that one was good. I'm glad I read that one. That was entertaining. I don't know, not only is the price action not very good, but the volume is turning into not very good either. I wonder if some people just said to hell with it. You know what I mean? Oh, there's a downtick again. ZV is literally sitting right there on the edge. They could totally go for it. I think that if they do decide to take this, that they're gonna go at least for a tick, so I think I could do that. Hawkish overnight action despite Eurobonds. It seems it could be another good day, probably not as strong as yesterday. Maybe sellers are not done yet, still watching CF stuck in a tight range, but sold hard. This music isn't very good either. It's too loud. Okay. Well, I know that the music is not very good. Totally understand that. Well, let's turn it down to 12. We're just doing like a test, right? So I want to get all of the levels right here. Oh, when you say the music isn't very good either, does that mean that the voice is too loud or too soft, or what do you mean by that? But yes, the thing here is I want to get like get it sounding right and everything. And then what I think we're going to do is we'll make a Discord channel so that we can like find good music. So if you find something good that, you know, I would actually be able to play, then yeah, turn YouTube volume on 2%. Well, there's that too, is the balance between the two of them. And I wouldn't expect you to be listening to the video on full volume. But I do try to have it up to a level that will be like, you know, make it easiest for people to hear on the widest range of systems. Make a Discord channel that monitors the levels of your sounds. Oh, so I did make another thing. I just, you know, I made it so that you can see my chart window. There you go. There's my chart window. Yeah, I should put John's indicator on the ZB there, maybe. So it's actually zoomed up because that screen is not even like a quarter of the size of my main chart. My main window, rather. But yeah, so you got that. It's better now. In the beginning, it wasn't. Okay. Yeah, because I turned it down by, it was -6 and now I have it at -12. Ooh, tick up again. Where is your ADX? Oh, the average directional index? I don't have one on there right now because I've been doing this RVI. You seen the RVI? Show you here again. This right here is RVI. Oh, where's my... Oh, I need my little highlighter. There we go. So this right here is the RDX, and it is RVI, And it is a new indicator in NinjaTrader 8 that they just put out in the last update. So if you have an updated NinjaTrader, I recommend that you do that. And it does a really freaking great job. So like if we are in a downtrend and we're going to move lower today, then this 24.5 is probably the highest that it's going to get. You will see that it has a tendency to go down and then come back to that zero line. So yeah, it's really effective, and I've actually built an indicator that uses it that as a filter that it really helped even more than the ADX. Obviously ADX is still like nice. I don't know. I never really paid attention to it too much. In fact, there's a lot of stuff on here that I don't pay attention to too much. Like these deltas, these two right here. I have them on there because I'm trying to understand the different kinds of signals that you can see and what this one would tell you and what the difference, which one I would recommend to people to use in different instruments and stuff, but I rarely actually pay attention to it. I mean, ADX. Yes, relative. Is it relative volume? I don't. I forget what it's called. It doesn't tell me. Not like that. I don't think it's volume. I think it's like relative velocity. Would you help me code my algo for it? Yeah, well, if you're doing it in NinjaTrader 8, you can totally... If you just paste the code somewhere, I would totally look at it. And maybe try and see what it's doing and see if there's anything that I can optimize it. One of the things that's nice if you've got a NinjaTrader 8 indicator is that... Oh, I don't have any home for it. No, but you can attach files in Discord, right? So you can just go in like the programming channel on Discord and paste it, or if you don't want everybody to be able to see it, you can just send me a message and paste it there. And yeah. But you can attach files in Discord, so this obviously down here isn't going to work out, so I mainly have cases with no code. Cases are the special part of an algo. Sure. So I found that to have a really robust algorithm, you want to have more than just like a, one case entry exit sort of a thing. Like it's good to do something when like this indicator indicates some trend, and then you want to do something when this indicator indicates that it's gone way too far. But the thing that I can do that might be useful to some of you is that I just have a really good processor. I got one of those AMD 1800. Was it the 1800 or the 1900? Anyways, it can just pound a lot of numbers. So I can go through and like do a what would you call it? Like a walk forward analysis, doing a bunch of different possible values for your key properties, basically to find what at least historically for that historical period, what the optimal values for that strategy would have been. And then you can kind of compare that with what it should be, or what you think it should be, to see if there's randomness to it, or what the deal is with that. But done. You or did you not like that song? Yeah, there is a lot of there's actually a lot of royalty free music out there. I was actually quite surprised. Like, you can go on YouTube. I've done that manually. Yeah. Well, that would take forever, dude. Like, here, I'll show you um, what it is exactly. So there's this strategy analyzer here. Hold on, let me pull that up. Okay. So here's the strategy analyzer in NinjaTrader 8. And you can do a back test, right? You can do an optimization, but you can also do multi-objective optimization, right? So then if I don't want to do that one. Let's just do like, okay, so here's a indicator that I wrote that I created a bunch of options on it. So for every component of the indicator, you can choose whether that signal tells you to go long or to go short, right? And then I can go and I can basically combine all of these. And with the walk forward analysis, walk forward optimization, I think it is. Oh, actually, no, it's you can do it on either of them. But this, you expand it here, I think here, and I can say, okay, I can test doing above, test doing it below, right? I can do that for all of these. And then what it will do is it will run through the statistical analysis for every combination. So I can do like, how many freaking things do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I've got like 16 squared possibilities here, So I don't know what 16 squared is. But I'll pull up a calculator here. $256, of course. I have a few more cases to identify their effects. Right. Anyways, so basically, you could do an analysis like go over the whole year 256 times to identify the optimal strategy. And then you can optimize it based on multiple objectives. And that takes that analysis would probably take all weekend, but my processor can do it. And we've done it with one. I've never quite gotten one that's quite as good as manual. But yeah, what I've gotten into more recently is I have some indicators that allow you to say whether you want to go long or short, and it just kind of refines your entry more than it does pick the direction for you, which is kind of cool. Enjoying the chilled tunes. Good. See, the theory here is that if we just have some background music, that some of the less engaged people might be slightly more likely to stick around and listen just because they like the background noise, So I'm hearing reports now that there is scattered fire across the India-Pakistani border again. They're saying 8 different locations, but they're not seeing. It doesn't appear to be substantiated yet. Yeah, Live Squawk tweeted it here. Indian and Pakistani armies are exchanging fire in as many as 8 different locations along the line of control right now. Pakistan has quote-unquote delayed the release of a captured Indian pilot. Ooh. Dude. Like, this could turn into... Hypothetical 10 insiders tell me they don't think a meaningful vote will be next week. We'll see. Talking about Brexit here. Some of these might be like totally shit or like not appropriate for our use case. See, that one is like way too basic. I don't know. We'll keep it going for a bit. We'll see. I want to keep it, super chill. Like super chill and ambient. It's interesting that they came up so strongly there at one point, and now they're having a little bit of trouble even getting past 24.5. Yeah, don't think so. Nope, I don't think so. I don't think so. To add. I can smell your failure. What a trolly name for a Twitch account. Thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Usually, most people comment on the YouTube, but you can see them both and everything, so that's cool. I mean, it's a funny name, dude. I really like that. It would be a little bit tempting to go overboard with trolling people with that kind of a name, though. I think. Man, So I used to work, as I told you, I used to work for Goldman Sachs, and I worked in the technology department. And Goldman Sachs hires a lot of people from India and Pakistan. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I had colleagues from both India and Pakistan. So I remember I had one colleague from Pakistan, and both him and his wife worked for the firm, and he couldn't come to the US. Like, they wouldn't approve his passport because he was from Pakistan. And so eventually he could get into the UK, but he couldn't get into the United States. And so eventually they just moved and worked for the firm in the UK eventually. But most of my colleagues were from India. And I tell you what, first of all, India and Pakistan totally effing hate each other. Like, some of the stuff that they would say was just, like, absolutely shocking to me. You talk about how people are, how racial tension in the United States has increased. I'm telling you what, that racism is, like, super alive and well in India, and they're not, like, ashamed of it. Because in their minds, it's not really racism, like, they don't like them because of their skin. It's like, they know that they're part of that group, and that group wants to kill them, sort of a thing, And, it was just always kind of a tight situation. And they were always talking about, that the borders was disputed, and that there was a lot of tension, and that if there was ever a war between India and Pakistan, that it could be really bad, simply because of the animosity and the history there. And that they're both nuclear powers. So this stuff that I'm hearing past 2 days about tensions on the India-Pakistan border really makes me nervous, Really makes me nervous. We'll see what happens. I hope that they're able to come to some sort of a agreement and, chill out. Because, geez, that could just be, like, super bad. Yeah. President Trump's top economic advisor, the Green New Deal will literally destroy the economy. Well, I mean, the Green New Deal is like not even a feasible plan, so it's kind of funny. Did you see that analysis the other day that said that to accomplish all of the initiatives that are mentioned in the Green New Deal legislation, that it could potentially require the entire GDP of the world? So, like, that's not a serious proposal. It doesn't mean that there's not good things in it. There's obviously some pie in the sky stuff. Oh, I didn't see here in Discord. Sorry for the late reply there, Michael. My restream chat, which is how I'm watching things, this right here, doesn't quite show me everything yet. Apparently, the Treasury Department is putting more sanctions on Venezuela. Do you consider playing the range being rollover week? Do you see potential run towards low? So, my working theory right now is that when we're at the beginning of a contract, you will tend to see more speculation on where treasuries are going to go over the course of that contract. And you see more people hedging themselves against interest rate changes in the E-mini futures. I guess that is happening pretty much answers it. Oh, that I have the stop limit there. I don't know. I'm always a little cautious on a Friday, of course, and especially after what we saw. I'm having a hard time knowing where the action is ultimately going to go. When they moved up there, it seemed super aggressive, but now they're all the way back here again, and the 5-year is really pushing down kind of aggressively. They actually did make new lows there in the 5-year. I think we might see this 23 even in ZN break really quickly. So, but if that goes, I won't be sitting here going like, oh, maybe we're going to go down to 16. I'm probably going to take a really quick profit. So. Oh, you're saying that as soon as he asked that, it kind of traded a little bit lower. I got you. Yeah. But, oh, you know what I can do? I can do that. Yes. Okay, cool. That should help me see a little bit better. Anyways, yeah, I mean, you've seen a lot of movement this week, right? And it's right at the beginning of the contract, and it's right towards the beginning of the end and beginning of the month tends to be like that time period. And I think part of what might be going on is that in general, at the end of the month and the first day of the month actually tend to be up days. There you go. There you go. Okay. Anyways, tends to be up, and then because the economic numbers and everything, it's been down. And so when it doesn't go that way, it goes against it super, super hard. You get what I mean? There you go. Now, interesting that the E-mini didn't really move much during that. I also don't see anything going on too strong in 6J, so I should set up some keybinds so that I can change. But here's the chart, so you can see here in 6J, you know, they're pushing down, but they're still kind of like in pullback, and it doesn't look super strong. The move down, though, in ZB in particular was really strong. So hopefully we get a tick out of this. Oh man, there's a lot trading back and forth there. Man. Is the economic slowdown over or just getting started? Question. Very good question. Oh my. So that was a lot that traded into 23.5 there. Yeah, I'll try and take a look at that over the weekend, Farva. Probably on Sunday, if I can remember. That is nutso volume there for sure. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't had a ton trade into 22.5 yet. So I'm wondering if that means somebody's trying to put a lock on it at 23 or something. Debt futures already succumbed to more selling pressure before mixed U.S. releases and even the early Canadian GDP report, as U.S. Treasuries saw more bear steepening off the open, with bonds and gilts down to fresh Eurex and Liffey lows of 165.07 and 125.65 respectively. Hence, not much further movement, since in stark contrast to USD CAD that spiked down from 1.32 and circa 1.31 lows, and subsequently breached Thursday's peak and only wanted after reaching 1.3240, as the weak growth numbers all but wipe out any prospect of a Bank of Canada hike next week. Probability now even closer to zero from sub 5% pre-data. Curious. I don't know, all of this absorption here at 23 doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Bid drop to 2K there. Need to reset it right here. So I think that the key would be the 5-year dropping down again and that bid pulling, yeah. Just like it just did there. Okay, 10K at 23. So now they would really need the 5-year to tick down again. That is some insane. Well, it could still be a profit taking though in ZN. I see 10K there. If they happen to breach it. Remember, when you get an iceberg that big, the probability is that they are going to go through it for at least a little bit. Now, at least a little bit might mean that it goes off for 23 and only 10 contracts go through at 22.5, but that's what we tend to see, is that they will get through everything that's at 23. But I guess the counter to that is that it's not normal to see this much volume go between two prices like that. Ace is looking to go short at 28.50. Well, if you took a short on the E-mini, it looks like an awful long ways down, doesn't it? What time is it? 7:14? So I might, if I don't get a fill here in the next wave of selling, I might need to think about taking it off, huh? At the moment, the E-mini is kind of trying to push up a little bit, but... Oops, where'd he go? Super surprised. Keep in mind, remember that when we came in here, there was only like 1,000 that traded at 23. So they traded into 23 and 30,000 traded at it. That's pretty insane. Ace took it off because we did get a strong up move there. So is Treasuries going to trade at 15K here? Okay, 10. 10.9. It goes offer. And a few stops at 22.5. It's also pretty crazy how strong ZB and ZF moved down, but the 10-year was kind of stuck. I guess if I come over here and I look, there is, you got zippers in all three of them. Kind of odd. Not something that I've ever seen before. So flipping the level 2 there now. Where did you learn to trade? Did you take a No BS webinar? Yes. Sorry, I saw that you put that in the Discord channel and I just didn't see it very fast, and then you came over into YouTube and posted it, so I'm sorry for not addressing that very quickly. But yes, I didn't take a No BS webinar, but I took the No BS course. Well, let me back up. The reason that I chose to trade this way is because a trader at Goldman Sachs told me to. They were having a problem with it. That was like the one time that I really got to talk to traders. They were having a problem with their DOM, and they were just kind of asking technology people, and they showed me. And I was like, oh, this is interesting because, you know, I want to trade. And they're like, well, if you really want to trade, and I mean really want to trade, this is the way that you want to do it. You want to watch the volume on a DOM. Hold on. So something I'm noticing from listening to Ranswalk is every once in a while he'll talk about some sort of movement and maybe not even treasuries, but like in corporate debt or whatever. And it's always the interest rate. It's never like the price. And so I think that knowing what the actual interest rate corresponds to what we've got going on here, the prices in treasuries, would be important. So I think I need to look this weekend and see if there's some stuff that could give me a better idea of the interest rate percentage. There's no difference between a DOM and an indicator at this point. Well, not really, yeah. I mean, they tell you the same information, don't they? Well, I mean, if you have an indicator that's based on volume at least, they tell you the same information. But I think part of the trick is that when you're seeing all of the data raw, maybe there are some things that you yourself can see that, you know, the indicator might not catch. Is kind of my take on it. It can update with real-time DOM data and display the information in a picture. Totally true. Okay, they took me out. Cool. Well, the way that they did it kind of indicates to me that maybe there's more in this. I'd be careful though. Like I said, when we get a big iceberg like that, we usually go through it. We did go through it. You notice there they had a pretty strong offer, and then it ticked back up. So I've seen this before where you'll get the iceberg and it'll dip below it and then it'll reverse. And the way that's pumping up makes me nervous. Let's just wait. He's still thinking about short though. I don't know. To me, I think it's particularly seeing how much it takes to lift up a certain price, seeing how much trades at a certain price. To me, it's really about the price. There was no sweep after they broke the iceberg though. Well, that's true. There wasn't really a big sweep, was there? I mean, there was a couple of big sells there, but there wasn't. Guy talking about Canadian PMI data. Probably not too important, but keep an eye on that. Ace is like, no, I'm thinking about French toast, actually. Guessing. I mean, Ace are pretty good this week, right? You should just go for the weekend early. Totally. Anyways, what was I saying? To me, it's more about the price, right? So I've never really seen an indicator that to me says, hey, these are the prices that matter, right? 23 even, 10K buy, right? It's easier to keep track of that sort of thing on a DOM. So you watch it, see what happens, leave a note. Been a good week. I can sit on my hands today if I don't get the perfect entry. Well, they're buying it. I'm interested to know why you prefer a short. It does kind of look maybe a little overextended, but we've just been having so much trend this week that it's, could do anything. I'm worried about this spot because I feel like that if I get filled on either of these sides, that it could very easily just catch me under. It's probably a little better to give it a little bit of time and see, wait for somebody to get off sides,
and then try and trade off of that instead of trying to pick it super early. Anyways, to me, it's the individual prices that matter. But I digress. A trader at Goldman said that if you really want to trade, that the best way to do it is on a DOM. And so I started looking that stuff up, and I found Futures.io, and I found the No BS day trading course. And so when I had the opportunity to start trading futures, I took that and read it. And I already knew a lot about markets anyways and price action, and I've read a lot of books. And then I've just been watching it. And a lot of what I know is from watching it and doing my own statistics. The market takes the elevator down, the stairs up is all. I would rather make my money quickly. So does that mean that you tend to prefer shorts? That's interesting. I mean, you can. The thing though is that when shorts get stopped up, it can be more violent than when longs get stopped out, right? So when people sell, people are panicking, for sure. Like there's more panic on the way down. But you know, the shorts know that markets tend to go up. So they're less likely to try and hold it for a long time. So if you're getting stops up, that's when you can get like super crazy moves. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so there is a big spread trade going in here. They are selling the 5 and buying the 10. Yes, it's quicker. I get you. That was interesting. Okay. They tick up there and it's a weak bid. I'm surprised that the algos didn't hit that back down almost immediately. Adrian, I had to get out of my short. I have time stop as well as price stop. Can always get back in. Gotcha. Yeah, sometimes they don't take the elevator, they jump from the balcony. Oh, no, they are still buying it here in ZF. See, they're buying it in ZN and they're selling it in ZF. Yeah, okay. That's curious. It goes offer and it's a weak offer too. So now the algos aren't willing to put up a lot of liquidity at that inside price? Ah, there we go. Down tick in ZF. Doesn't hold. Didn't cause a lot of volume over here either. What is ZB doing during this? I guess I should note that we are getting some pretty long cumulative delta in all three of them here. By the way, JPY moved up a little bit here too. JPY did move up a little bit here, but it's in a rangy area where it could totally flip around. So that doesn't necessarily mean this is an awful trade, but I am starting to reconsider it. ZB is being boring. We got some Canadian data about to hit here. Okay. E-mini moving up. $52.6. So when do I see it over here? Here's the equity open. Was some market buying on the open? That move up was probably the open and not necessarily the Canadian data. Oh, there you go, uptick. And the E-mini just goes. Good grief. Okay, so I don't like that I didn't get a lot of volume at 22.5 there. The E-mini is still pushing up. Hope Ace didn't short it, yeah. Some pretty aggressive buying there in equities. But 23.5 goes bid again. Despite the selling in the 5-year. I don't know. Equities look strong, but they did come back there a little bit. And we did go bid for 23.5 there for a while. It was concerning. Looks like some disagreement in the market here. I think that the E-mini could potentially make another new high here. They do seem to be holding the levels pretty okay. The 5-year did pop up there, but they're kind of toying around with the idea of going down again. So there you go, there's the new high. Oh wait, was that equal to the previous high? I think that might have been equal. I wasn't paying attention. Okay. 5-year down ticked. Ooh yeah, they're stacking on the offer at 12.5 too. Okay. Ooh, a little flip in the level 2 and the 5-year there now as well. But not taking out the 23. Curious. And they actually tried to buy out 23.5. Someone's really fighting here. Auto loan data a little concerning from Hazard on CNBC right now. Getting over here on Twitters. Live Squawk saying Canadian manufacturing PMI slips to a 26-month low. Things are looking really negative over in Canada right now, aren't they? We are going to get some PMI data here soon, right? Yes, final manufacturing PMI expected 53.7. Well, the previous was 53.7. I guess there's not estimates on this number. $6,023 now. See, if I had sold it at 23, half. If it was trying to get out at 23, then I would probably be okay. But at 22 half, I should be able to get a fill, but it's so far it's not. We've been in it about 10 minutes. And we've got about 10 minutes to go until the PMI data. So I'm kind of seeing some guys in the E-mini going short now. They're going short and they're not making a lot of progress yet. ZF hasn't broken 12 and a quarter. 12 and a quarter goes offer, then I think that we might start to see a little bit more. Maybe some people move out of positions. BuzzFeed is reporting that May was talking about possibly still having to delay Brexit even if her deal gets backed in Parliament. That's curious. Okay, it did go offer. It's not a strong offer there at 23. 12 and a quarter still hasn't completely gone offer yet. Yeah, sure fighting it. Okay, so 12 and a quarter. That was a little bit better of a downtick, at least in the 10-year. 5 years still fighting a little bit, but I think that they're coming to agreement here. Well, I'm still at the back of the line. Oh, I was just thinking, like, maybe I should pull it. But if I had pulled it, I probably would have taken it off there. So, it's fine. I mean, it just keeps pushing up. Super interesting. Ooh, okay. So we just got a block sell there, 121.22 half. A little bit better of an offer at 22 half as well now. It's staying. Look at that E-mini go. And they're leaving behind a big bid there, 28.0650. They're just still going. Look at them pump that. A lot of pressure. Well, if the PMI data comes out and it's really bad, this could be like a super ugly move back up, because they are just pushing through tons of volume here. We've now had almost 200,000 contracts traded in this area between 22 and 24. So if the PMI data comes out and it's bad, in 2 minutes here, you could see a really strong move up. It's pretty rare that ZB is this range bound too. So normally when you get into an area like this, they would randomly move across to like a 4-tick range or something like that. But they're not even doing that. They've traded 31 for a while, and then they traded 01 for a while. $53.7 is the number we're looking for here in less than a minute. Look at that thing going, E-mini. Hmm, 22 half goes off right there again. think that I can pretty safely, just in case. Okay. Comes. Okay. So it was 53 versus 53.7, so it missed. Okay, now I just got the thing, so it's a little bit, it's maybe like 5 seconds delayed, but it's okay. Okay, so the number missed, but the E-mini shrugs it off and is moving higher now. I'm wondering here. I continue to hear concerning headlines over Brexit. Just here on both my Squawk and on Twitter. And I'm not quite sure how the market's interpreting this. Also, would note JPY did move up, but is maybe potentially moving lower. E-mini looks awfully toppy. Euro's moving higher. British pound, though, appears to be turning around. So it could be that maybe... So I mentioned all that because I'm wondering maybe some people are going to be buying treasuries to get out of the UK, but you know, it's not really it's not really breaking out here, is it? Get moved over to there. ISM is probably more important. Got a lot of people watching today, so thank you guys all for watching. Ace, you gotta tell us that you didn't short that, right? Like, I'm pretty... It sounded to me like you got out, but we're still a little concerned for you. I'm pretty sure that talking about breakfast and using the other account means that he gave up on it and went and made lunch, but breakfast. They went and made breakfast, but there's still a lot trading down here, man. I seem to recall seeing this before. Really, really strong absorption at a price after a new low. And I seem to recall taking a trade and it not working out. So I'm a little... I think it's probably better to just sit out the next 10 minutes and see what PMI brings. No, Ace went long. Oh, he did. He did go long? I misunderstood then. One of the problems with some of the royalty-free music that I've found so far is that they only last like 3-minute tracks. And they're like 10-minute tracks. Oh yeah, there's consumer sentiment too. How are our friends in Equity Index doing? There hasn't been too much activity in there. So while we're waiting, this would be a good time to make a new channel in here. Create channel, and we will call it there we go. So now if you go into Discord, I posted a channel so that you find anything that you think it would be good to put in the background music, just go and post it in that channel, and then I'll go look through everything and see if it fits and everything. Well, they're sitting there with a pretty fat offer at 22.5. I mean, well, look at that. Block sell, 5K bid. Or 5K sell goes into it, bid holds. This is just crazy. 7K now at 21 and a half. Are those like accurate? Do I have something wrong going on here? No. They all look correct. Oh no, wait. No. They're all good. They're all good. I don't know. I don't know what the... This is just crazy. Oh, so now Ace is taking a short at 07. I'm really tempted to buy that 21.5 because we continue to see iceberging. But I've made that trade in the past and it had to just keep moving against me before. But look at the amount short. That is insane. That is crazy. This is all very odd, suspicious. Okay, so there are kind of some support. Maybe people are just taking profits. Okay, it goes off for 21.5. Curious. E-mini breaking new highs there too. And the problem with their absorption is you need the backtick to confirm the turnaround, but sometimes when you see the backtick, you miss the move. Okay, so here we get the numbers that are about to come out. So remember, the number that we're listening for is 55.5 for the main headline number. That 21.5, it went offer. Only 12 traded into 21 and it has bid again. Okay, people are pulling their liquidity now. $55.5, $55.5. Brand squawk all big here so I can see them all coming in. down again. What are you really pulling for this number? Hell yes. Missed. It's a miss. Obviously, it's a miss. It's not showing me the numbers quite yet. Wow. Look at that change in cumulative delta. Okay, here I'm getting it now. Okay, so the headline number was 54.2 versus an expected 55.5. Prices paid 49.4 versus an expected 51.5. New orders 55.5. Employment index 52.3. Jeez. And above 27? Oh my. That's just, man, guys. I mean, holy shit, right? Yeah, okay, so there's our enough, coming back enough on us that it's time to, yep. Well, I don't think I'm gonna take any more trades. That was insane. So here's the thing that's insane about that trade was that I need to be careful. I want to be saying something like conspiratorial here, but that looked to me like there was some people very much so trading that the number was going to be bad. Am I the only one that sees that, right? There was crazy absorption down here. I mean, literally all of this, so much absorbed on the bid. And then this sell right here in ES, they were selling it to new lows in cumulative delta before the news. That might have meant that there were people that had just gotten long that were exiting their trades before the news came, but that is just unreal. Just unreal. And then, of course, it results in this huge up move. That was just, wow. I'm not a tinfoil hat guy, but I would not be surprised if someone knew the number would be bad. That was just an amazing trade. Yeah, Adrian's saying it's maybe since it's only one lot you would have. Yeah, I mean the thing was it was a stop limit, right? Because I've had some where I just did it with a straight up stop and it would fill me and I'm like, I'm not so sure that would have happened like that. Well, it really came back pretty strong, didn't it? If it comes back down to like this 22.5, I might take it again. That was just such a great trade. 63k short versus 49k longs liquidating. Yeah. That's just now look at the 5-year. Look at the 5-year. This is some really wild stuff. That's all of the 8 o'clock stuff. Jeez. Consumer sentiment was 93.8 versus an expected 95.7 as well. So literally everything missed in that data release. Need to pay attention here. Spot is going to be... I don't know if they're going to get back to 23. They might take it from here. It is pretty thick. You'll notice that they left a lot of offers behind. Curious that there's just all of a sudden there's no interest here. That's not good. Okay. Jeez. Yeah, I fell for that one again. How many times has that caught me? This channel deserves to be a lot more popular. No, wrong. We've been through this before, but let me explain this again. One, I am still trading sim right now, right? So I think that kind of limits your... People are just always going to come in and say, well, you know, I don't know if I'm really going to make a ton of money doing this. But then the number two thing is that if a ton of people were watching this channel, you should be concerned. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, maybe I made a really good trade and made a ton of money, and then maybe the next day there'd be a ton of people watching or that sort of a thing. Man, I just feel really embarrassed with that last trade because I knew it and I suspected that that's what was happening, but I just couldn't hold it. And they hold that on me all the time, and I always fall for it. Anyways, you know, obviously I could make a good trade or a good video, and you might see a lot of people for a short period of time. But if I was constantly pushing, you know, 1,000 viewers or something like that, that to me would be a signal that perhaps we're in some sort of market euphoria where people have too much money and they're wasting it. You know what I mean? It's just the sort of thing that we tend to do is never going to be super popular. That's just the way it is. And it's always been that way. You would think that after hundreds of years, people would realize how important the fixed income markets are and how much profit potential there is in fixed income markets. But nope. They care about other things. They would rather, you know, be manipulated by pop culture and politicians. Those are popular things, right? So cynical. Sure. So that was a real stop run right there. Quality content, thanks. Well, we did make a really good call there, didn't we? I feel good about that one. Sometimes I'll make a trade that, you know, there's a little bit of luck involved and things like that. But that one was, we read over order flow. We knew what the possibilities were, and we knew that if the number was bad, that you could get a really big push down, and that's exactly what we got. So that was just a really good call, I think. And not just a really good call, but the way that we chose to execute it was really smart too. And I would really like to have tried that one live, because I think, based on my understanding of how that order works and everything, that I would have gotten filled and it would have been a good safe trade. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It seems to me that most of the time you trade levels, guaranteed with their right assessment and interpretation, and most of the time the trades work out. Yeah, I would say that in the past 2 months, most of the time my trades have been working out, yeah. Like, we were looked at the stats yesterday and it was above 50%, slightly above 50%. But I still make dumb mistakes too, right? The problem that I'm having with my trading lately is that I've taken too much on losers. So there's the sizing. I think that my sizing strategy needs a lot more refinement. When I'm deciding to take 2 contracts and when I'm taking 1 contract aren't right. That was a really good take right there. 3,600 following it. Like that's potentially guys like me that have a stop limit order in there, and as soon as it ticks up, they put their limit in. 5K now bid. And E-mini about to touch the lows of our session. So when they break that 27.98.75, I don't think that's the overnight low or anything, but ugh. Seth, would you act live and make a profit? They would run your door full, but so they think again. A guru more on YouTube. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like that anybody that becomes a guru and is actively saying, "Here's my strategy, trade it," it is bound to stop working, because just like it's just the way that the market works, you know. You're taking advantage of a market inefficiency. If you're that consistent and everything to become that followed of a person on YouTube, you're taking an advantage of a market inefficiency. And if you're specific enough about how you trade it, then other people are going to start taking advantage of it too, and it's going to stop working. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that too. It is 8:17. I don't know. I was thinking that we could get back up to 26.5 there again, but they come a little bit short of it. And having that downtick there, it might not be a big deal. But I don't have a lot of time to make that back if I don't take it. So I think that I will take that one off. Despite short-term action in numbers, HF players don't bulge, still selling. I'm puzzled by their logic, but playing continuation 22.5, 27.5, maybe 28.5 if lucky, says Alligator. Let's say you have 100k subscribers, all of which take a long trade when you go long or short when you short. Isn't that what every trader wishes for? Well, maybe. Here's the thing. If I was to click on it, and then after I clicked on it, a bunch of other people immediately got in, sure, that would be great. And then you could potentially see a run in my direction that could allow me to get out, right? But if that's always what happened, it would be like, okay, I buy it, and then everybody else buys it, and I see a rush up, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that is beyond what my consideration of value and prices are, so I'm going to get out. And then everybody else gets out. At some point, everybody would start going like, I actually, in order to make money off of this, I actually have to beat Seth to the trade, right? Like that thing only works if you're clicking on it first. If you're clicking in and out first. If you're not the first to the trade. So then what it means is that the trade is there, but you've got to be really fast. You've got to be really fast, and I'm just not. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? So then it's almost like people are trying to trade Seth. that and trading Seth would not, I don't think, would be a profitable adventure for anybody involved. Markets do not change, they only get faster. In the past, they said the same thing. Well, I mean, I think that's true too. I mean, so let me back up. I feel that the way that I trade is a way that anybody can become a consistent trader by doing. Okay? It's just we're looking at price and we're watching the volume to kind of make a determination of where volume is. Hold on, I don't like this track. It's a little bit too dissonant for me. Let's anyways, this is something that if you sit down and you practice that for years using, you know, some of the things that we look at, and you watch it and you come up with your own entries in your own places, I think that just about anybody with enough dedication, practice, and luck can become a successful trader. That's what I believe, right? I do not believe that if everybody, and I mean everybody, took the same trades that I did, that you would always be 100% long-term successful, right? That's not saying that I think that at some point I'm going to start failing as a trader. That's not what I mean. I just mean that I think that if everybody tried to take my trade, that it would become a problem. Not only that, but you kind of start to run into like, there might even be some regulatory hurdles in that case too. You know what I mean? So this to me is like, what Swisso says that markets don't change. Like, I totally agree with that kind of sentiment. Like, the way that we trade has always been a way to trade. But like he says also, there's kind of markets get faster. And so you might have a particular entry or something that the market catches onto. And then in order to make money from it, you could still make money from it, but you got to be faster than them, right? But I think what I'm kind of getting at more is that if I was like a really influential trader, it's like a totally different kind of ball game from what I'm doing right now. You know, so like back on the floor, there was always guys that were like you've seen that that documentary with Rambo, the Australian trader guy, and they were saying, you know, he was saying that a lot of people will follow me, right? Well, he has to consider that into his trade at that point, right? Because he can't just step in and do something and you know, expect it to completely work out for him, because there's a lot of other people trying to get that same trade simply because he's taking it. So he has to be more careful about his price and things like that, because if it's up at the high and he wants to buy and everybody else knows that he wants to buy, they're just going to push it up without him because he won't be able to get in quickly enough. You know what I mean? So it really changes the ballgame. But I don't know. I guess that was kind of beside the original point, wasn't it? That's a lot of volume there at 25 half, but there, by the way. 425. Yeah. Here comes a level now. I feel you just go, okay, I will sell 26 because it held before and it's holding now. You take the trade and it works out. My question is, how is that different from technical analysis? So, I mean, that's not quite the way that I think about it, though. But it is similar, right? So I'm not just saying 26 held here before. I'm saying how much is actually trading here, and when I watch it go bid, how does it behave? Does it behave in a way that indicates to me that there can be a continuation? Or does it trade in a way that indicates to me that there could be a reversal? Now, I tend to want to take the mean reversion that is in line with the larger trend. So in my mind, the larger trend is long. Ergo, I don't want to short 26, right? Now, you can do that with technical analysis, but I mean, it went bid there. They're willing to bid 3,000 now at 26. And what you might see is they might try and sell 26 now, and that might hold. And then that would be an indication to me that, yeah, it's safe to hold it there, because even though it went bid, people are still want to buy it at that price. Okay, see, that time only 12.16 actually traded, so that's not the case. There's not as much demand at that price as it appeared there initially. So now I'm being much more wary about buying it there at 26. Right? Now you can see that with technical analysis, but my key point they want you to keep in mind is that it's not about the price per se, it's about the volume at the price. It's how did it behave at that price. So you wait and see how it trades at 26.5 maybe. Sure. I mean, if it went bid at 26 and all of a sudden I was seeing 5K there at 26 and they had hit 26 and it had absorbed it all, at that point I would say there's a pretty good chance that some people are going to get stopped out into 26.5 and that they're going to go up to 27 at least. Pretty good chance. That's kind of how I try and swing it, but I never traded technical analysis. I only learned DOM trading, so this is the only trading knowledge I have. I got you. Well. So I think the difference is that to me, it really matters that there was. It really matters that there was 3,000 on the bid, but that when they actually sold it, only 1,000 traded, and then this past time, 578 traded. And now this third time that they're trying to make the attempt, there's actually a huge iceberg on it at 26, right? You see, somebody out there in the market clearly saw that there wasn't as demand there at 26 as it may have initially appeared, and is trying to sell it there now, merely because of that. Totally, I think so. Whereas technical analysis is usually based on price. Technical analysis is like, well, we came up here and we're not actually, well, so like this one right here. Okay. Some technical analysis people would say that we moved up here, but we only just barely equalized this 27. Hold on. Mexican manufacturing PMI coming up. I don't care about that. So we came down, we moved back up to the same price, and now we're having trouble at 26.5. I think a technical analysis guy would be saying that if it doesn't go through here, that there's a really good short, and I don't necessarily see it that way. To me, I kind of see it more as like, this is the range. This is the spot that people seem to think is fair price. Clearly somebody out there thinks that this isn't a fair price, at least for the time being. It's like that. You can always blend technical analysis with order flow for confirmation. Totally. And see, I don't have a problem with technical. I mean, look, I got this book here, right? I own the Bible. I own the Old Testament, right? it's just that I feel that retail trading, and in particular the gurus out there, because I really just don't consider myself a guru. I consider myself a trader. You know, a trader that at the moment happens to be doing well, because this is a kind of market that I tend to do well in. Now let's do this one. You know, but I think that they kind of distort what technical analysis was intended to be, because technical analysis was originally a tool for floor traders, right? They went in and they would say, okay, you do the chart here in your head, or you do the chart on the long term, and it can tell you things about prices that people are going to be interested in, and where support and resistance are, or certain patterns that might be really bearish, right? But then they completely take out the volume component of it, which is why those patterns exist in the first place. And so then what you end up having is you have the price pattern is still there, but the volume pattern isn't. And so you have people taking some long trade when it's completely the opposite of that. And maybe the price is actually happening the way that it is because somebody is intentionally trying to trick people, you know? I feel like that technical analysis has been abused and distorted. I'm more partial to street DOM trading myself. I just feel like that DOM trading just gives you a better probability. I'm not so sure. I mean, I'd have to try it, of course, but if I was trading like on a daily basis, using only technical analysis, which is what I used to do, really, I would not have as high of a probability. No way. Getting, you know, sometimes I'm swinging as high as 55%. And it's only because I'm looking at prices and people's positions. And so there are some situations where something literally has to happen. Well, not has to happen, but the probability of it happening are just extremely high, because you have one person that is very, very long, and they're going to have to sell it. You know? Well, what if you apply both? Well, yeah, but that's kind of what we were saying before, right? I mean, we've had trades before here. That's a pretty strong bid there at 26 now, right? 30,000 again. Now they're trading into it. Okay, 1278. It's still a little iffy. But there was actually some stops there at 626.5 now. You know? Ah. Okay, now that's strong. That could definitely hit into 26.5 now. Yeah. I like it. What was I? Oh yeah, there's like a quote here now. It is a matter not only a 3K bid, it is all bids. All bids ZN is 3K many days. True. I do think, well, to your point, Fib Futures, these bids at 25, 24, half, and 24 are awfully thick, right? And when we moved up and back down, there was it's awfully thick up in here. Let me use the thing so you can see. This right here, pretty thick. This right here, very, very thick. Right? Look at that. They came back down really fast. So here's another kind of interesting example where there actually was a lot of buying interest there, but the sellers pushed through them. And as soon as the sellers pushed through them, they puked. But that's just kind of where I'm like, I don't know. That spot you got to be a little bit worried about, especially because of where it is on the profile. But I kind of, I think you use everything for sure. I really think I don't think that it's just like, how do I say this? What are you saying here? Oh, I say 300K. all bids in ZN is 300k. I guess I don't quite understand what you're saying, but I think I understand your larger point, right? And I agree with it totally. I think that you want to use everything that you can, right? It's just you got to put it into context to know what they actually mean and when they mean something and when they don't, you know? Because I think that some people, for instance, something that I've heard often, or that has happened in this channel many times, is somebody will say, well, look, here's the profile. Like that. That means that nobody's, you know, because this is their profile, that means that the chances of them trading above 26.5 are significantly less. Simply because of the level. And simply because of the volume profile. But I could see something here where if it might go sideways for a little while, and then you might see something down here that tells you that they are going to move back up. In fact, when they move down there, that might have been a place that you could have gotten long. But, you know, I think that there's actually a pretty good chance that they do eventually break this. Right now, though, I'm not sure enough to trade it. And I got 8 ticks today. I really think that I should stop, especially since it's 8:37. But, you know, but like I said, people will misappropriate things, you know? It's like, so here's another example, but not in trading, but in politics, right? People, so like one of the things that we're seeing right now is there was a poll out in Texas showing that Joe Biden was only 1 point behind Donald Trump. It was like Donald Trump 47 and Joe Biden 46, right? In Texas, which is just insane, right? Now, does that mean that Donald Trump is going to lose the election? Well, it certainly doesn't speak well to him winning the election, but here's a case where we have polls, yes, on average, the polls, especially the closer that you get to the election time, tend to be right about who's going to win. But we're really far out, right? And so here's a situation where you have an edge that doesn't really apply in this situation. You know, when you have a really well-known, already in office politician going up against a slate of candidates that to the larger public isn't really on their minds a whole lot right now, they're always going to poll better than they are actually going to poll after they've gone through the primary and all the voters get familiar with them. And especially not when candidates get involved, parties get involved and start doing the politics, you know? And so it's pretty likely that those numbers are going to come down because of that, right? But if you only just knew the statistic, which is like, okay, poll tends to be right, and you take it based on that, you know, you'd be wrong. And so it really comes down to how well informed are you to be able to tell which pieces of information matter and which pieces of information don't. I remember there was this guy early on when I was first started trading before I was recording. Really nice guy, and I think he might still come along from time to time. And his theory was, I'm going to put like every indicator I possibly can on the chart, and then I'm just going to see what happens to be working that day and just go along with that. And the problem with that strategy is that if you don't understand why it was working, then you're not going to understand when it's going to stop working, right? And that's also why I think we should also acknowledge, quite important to acknowledge, that there are time periods where the kind of trading that I tend to prefer, DOM trading, is not effective, right? Like last week when it was kind of towards the end of the contract, not as good. Not as good. When you get into like June, July, it can be really, really tough. It's a completely different type of trading, and maybe some people are good at it, but I'm just not very good at it, right? And why is that? Because there's not actually as much of a reason for traders to move price. And so a lot of the movement that you're seeing is just random based on people taking positions. And since you're so small, what's going to happen is the big guy is going to go and do something to try and get you to go in and then go and stop you out. You know? I fall for that all the time. I mean, I fell for it here. This 24 should not have happened. That sucks. I really could have gotten almost as, you know, I probably could have gotten another 4 to 6 ticks because I was buying at 24, right? Could have gotten 4 out of that, but then instead I took 2. Totally got fooled there. Need to watch that one again because I don't know why it is that I always have a problem with that. When they are not able to break it, they back by no more than 2 or 3 ticks and it goes back up again. They don't retrace all the way down to the bottom of the range. Yeah, it totally happens. Or, you know, I've noticed that they'll kind of, they'll go through stages. So there'll be a time period where it seems like they always come a little bit short. And so then you always start taking things a little bit short. And then all of a sudden you'll go into this time period where it always goes a little bit further. It's almost like somebody's conditioning the algorithms. You know what I mean? I don't know if that is like a legitimate thing, but I think that you could go in and you could do something like, there's an algorithm out there that is based on, you know, the most recent action. And so you tell the algorithm, every time that I do an uptick with a 5K bid, we're gonna move. And so you start doing that, and maybe you make a little bit of money off of it at the beginning. But then the algorithm catches onto it. And so it starts doing something like maybe when you put that up there, it sells it on you and forces you out of the trade, right? So you do that for a couple of weeks, and you're losing a little bit of money every time that it happens, right? You're losing a little bit of money every time that it happens, and the algorithm is making a little bit of money every time that it happens. But you're preparing yourself for some big event later on down the road. And you're doing that because you know that the robot is going to do it because it's been making money off of it. And then all of a sudden, you do the opposite thing and the robot pukes. And that time it moves so far that you make up well more than all of the money that you've lost over the past few weeks because you've really sized up that time, you know, and like you've prepared it and everything. I suspect that happens, but I mean, there would be no way for me to actually know that it does happen. But that's just like a scenario in my head that it seems like that could totally happen. Example. Okay, so futures did make a comment here. Example price is going up the last hour. If bids is 300k, asks is 250k, it is possible for bids to push price up. To only look at 10 prices is to not see the 300k. I gotcha. Well, I can't see, probably can't quite see quite as much as you. I can see 27k versus 41. Wow. By the way, why do I have that up there? I better, oh, you know what? So I've been having a problem here where I have my mouse and I have a profile trading. Yeah, it's on. Should be able to. Oh, see, it's not doing it. Maps. Maybe if I do that. Was it the 1? Oh, it was this one. No, it is there. It's just... Oh, I can click this button. That will do it. Okay. I wonder if I upgraded Jigsaw and it just, like, got rid of my shortcut keys or something. Yeah, actually, that's exactly what happened. Where is it? Cancel button. Yeah, it's gone. Interesting. Oh, because I had to close down my ZN and remake it to fix this thing. That's what happened. Or trying to fix it. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I agree that the overall thing tells you something. I would just say that can change too sometimes, though. So I've seen markets where if you if there's a bunch of liquidity in the offers, more than the bids, that they move up into it, and I've seen markets where it runs away from it. Anyways, robots don't puke LOL, they puke 01. Yeah. The robots definitely will puke. I think that if you're like in a level, right? We're not doing it right now, but maybe ZB here is a little better example. We're trading back and forth across 30, and then all of a sudden we trade down. Well, it didn't happen that time. But, if you see some orders immediately hit 28, probably robots. Nobody puked that time. That was interesting. We're all the way back down to the bottom of this range. You could maybe buy it again, but I'm not going to take a trade. Not after 8:30. Well, I wish, that was like a really good conversation, guys. Felt like that me today, I'm a little scatterbrained, so I apologize for that. But we made a good trade, so it's not like it was a bad day. Let me know. In the Discord, I made a new channel for music. So let me know what you guys thought about playing music today, and let me know, if you have tracks that you would like included, then go and put them in that channel. Because if this bothers you and we don't like the background music, we can totally get rid of it. It's totally up to you guys, because I don't particularly care. But I was just doing it with the idea, like, one, I've got a lot of audio expertise, and so I can kind of do this sort of a thing when most people wouldn't have the resources to do this kind of a setup. One, but then two, I just kind of thought that, especially for new traders, that they'd appreciate the music in the background. Hold on. Something about North Korea didn't sound like too big of an impact on our markets. Anyways, so the other thing, as I was saying, let me know how you guys did today. Want to know if somebody did really, really well or did really, really terrible. I want to know, like, what was the bad trade that you made? Maybe we can talk about it. And oh, hold on. Okay, Captured Indian Pilot has been released. Captured Indian Pilot has been released. That's good news. Very, very good news. If one had to pick between the music and the birds, that's great. Okay, BDT likes the music. Thank you. The thing is I literally went onto YouTube and I just downloaded a bunch of random tracks that sounded ambient to me. So I didn't even necessarily know if they're like great tracks or anything. But, over the next week, I'll have the opportunity to listen to a ton of stuff, and I will go and link them in the channel, and that'll be how I can, download them later or whatever. Well, Tix Addict doesn't like the music, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think what I will do is I will kind of switch back and forth a little bit until there's agreement among whether people want it or not. Definitely one of the things is I got to make it so that Well, so there's a couple of other things that we can do, right? One, I can always adjust levels. Like if the music is a little bit too loud or too distracting, then we can turn it down a little bit. The other thing that I can do though is for those of you that really don't like that, we can always like use the Discord so that you can hear me live through Discord instead of having to listen to the stream. I mean, that kind of sucks because you don't get as many stream views, but like that's one way of doing it too. Ace does like the music though. It sounds like overall that you guys like the music, but you know, I'm not completely decided on it still. We'll see. I totally understand that it wouldn't be for everybody. I do appreciate though that you guys like the market commentary. Because to me, like I was saying, I'm not trying to be a guru. I appreciate that people like my perspective. And I appreciate that I've been doing well lately. You got to remember that I've gone through periods where I was just awful. So, but to me, it's I'm not doing it because I feel like, oh, what I say is so great and everybody should listen to me and they'll learn a lot from what I'm saying. I do it because to me, it's like it's community interaction, right? Like it generates community. And if I say something stupid, there's certainly going to be somebody there in chat that is going to provide a different perspective. Right? Uzi took a big fat 0. Well, 0 is better than negative, so that is good to hear. All right. Well, anyways, I have got to get going, so I will see you guys next week. As always, should have my political race thing where I have to admit that I was wrong about Beto running. Or at least at the current time appeared to be wrong about Beto running. So that should be interesting. And I'm still, I have the Discord on my phone, so if you want to send more messages or anything, you can always just PM me or just say something in the channels. I will see you guys on Monday, and in the meantime,